When I say public advocacy, I mean it's for public, by public. So it includes people centered advocacy as well. Because what do we otherwise understand by public advocacy? It is for people, done with their participation, so it is people centered advocacy.
Well, the way I like to define advocacy is that it is the process of using information strategically to influence policies which affect the lives of disadvantaged people. So there are three elements to this. First of all, we are using information strategically, that is our method. Secondly, our target is to influence policies, and our constituency is disadvantaged people for whom we are doing this work. So it is a very short definition, but I think it captures the central essence of what we do when we do advocacy.
Advocacy obviously is a technique, it is also a strategy, but it's also a process. However, I would distinguish it from social movements. Social movements have a much larger agenda, and in terms of the essential characteristic, I would say advocacy is a systematic, planned action which uses the democratic space, the democratic principle of engagement and dialogue to ensure change.
Tools or attempts to actually get your viewpoint across. That's a very simplistic kind of thing, but essentially if one is trying to fight for or trying to work towards a more just system, whether it is in terms of the environment or social justice of other kinds, you have to be able to get your message across to the people who are making the decisions which matter, and or the people who are being affected by those decisions. So to me, advocacy would be using the appropriate tools to get your message across.
तो मुझे लगता है कि एडवोकेसी का मतलब मेरे हिसाब से तो ये है कि ये डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम्स में जो भी 4 पिलर्स है उनको इस्तेमाल तो करो ही, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ लोगों को एडवोकेट करने में कैसे मदद हम करेंगे, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। बहुत बार ये हो रहा है कि हम ही एडवोकेट बनकर अगर घूमते रहे तो आम लोग जो है वो एडवोकेट कब बनेंगे, कैसे बनेंगे, ये सवाल है। और ये सारे 4 पिलर के साथ कौन रहना चाहिए, वो आम आदमी, इसका सवाल है।
Advocacy means amplifying the voice, and in that context we need to realize why we need to amplify the voice and why advocacy now. Increasingly in the context of the present world, 2 or 3 factors have changed the whole shift in the way look the world and the way act in the world and the way think. Number one is the huge communication revolution which happened. Number 2 is the role of neoliberal policies in the lives of the poor. Number 3 is the erosion of political parties and their credibility to represent people. Number 4 is increasingly public policy and governance have huge impact and implications for the lives of the people, and more people are brought into governance. So there is a need for people to use information and knowledge to assert their rights, as well as the demand accountability and claim responses from the government and governance. So advocacy to that extent is advocacy is not just a tool. Advocacy from the perspective of the poor will have to be people-centered advocacy. But from a people-centered perspective means the basic premises of human rights, which human rights which stresses human dignity, which questions any kind of discrimination on the basis of gender, caste, region or religion, which would make obligatory role the state to guarantee human rights, particularly in terms of what I call respecting and protecting and fulfilling human rights. So I would say that human rights, that's what we call it, it's a rights-based perspective, and particularly it's a rights-based perspective also because it seeks accountability from the state. But human rights itself, to what extent is political, it's a question. So in a sense, it goes beyond human rights to the whole notion of social, economic and environmental justice. So to my mind, the people-centered advocacy, the political premises of people-centered advocacy should be driven by economical, social, economic and ecological justice, yeah, within a human rights framework. That is number one. Number two, it seeks to challenge the monopoly of power. That's why it questions multinational corporations. It's not necessarily against market, but wherever there is monopoly of power, the monopoly of power in the state, see, any monopoly of power can be tyrannical. So the tyranny of power, whether it is by state or by market or by media, need to be challenged and changed. So the third question is, it seeks unjust and unequal power relationships, especially the monopoly of power.
And advocacy is something which involves both the head and the heart. And it's, I think, very obvious that it is not just a quick fix type of technical activity, that you have some good techniques and some good media management and some good communication skills and little bit of information analysis and you do advocacy. I don't think it ever works that way. It is strongly based on a whole set of values. Maybe one can mention a few. The first is that as advocates, when we raise an issue and if the issue resonates in society, then it gives a certain visibility and also gives a certain kind of power to advocates. Especially if the issue gets taken up, the media approaches you, policymakers approach you, you become known in the public. Now, to be responsible and accountable while wielding this power, whatever limited power it is extremely important. I think that is the first value. Because there's a strong tendency, and unfortunately it happens even with very well-meaning people, that they get carried away by this. And they start feeling that their own individual views are more important than the social need. And I think that is where an advocate, a very well-meaning and a very effective advocate, can also go wrong. If they forget that their power stems from people's power.
Therefore, to me, advocacy is more than merely a tool. It is a very essence of democracy. It is the very essence of legitimizing the system by bringing the people, the essential element in this whole equation, the sovereigns in a democracy, into this system on a sustained basis, not merely as peripheral players who come in once in a while, and then we pay lip sympathy that people are sovereigns, Janata, Janardhan, etc. But they are real people with real interests and real sovereigns who engage on a sustained basis, but in a certain framework, not in an anarchic way, not simply facing bullets or burning buses. That's absurd in a democracy, but through collective and informed assertion. So I think we have to view it in the larger context. It's not merely getting a particular thing done, though obviously getting a particular thing done is a part of advocacy. But it is a much larger issue of citizen engagement.